I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach, Wadash. This is going to be a part two of the lesson I just did, posted on my account. I went into the book of not Hebrews, but Habakkuk. Where is it? Let me just go there right now. Habakkuk chapter 3. Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 3. God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. As I said in the last lesson, that's referring to Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is coming as a representative of the presence of Yahweh. It says, Salah, his glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. Yeah, you're going to have Yahweh Shai in a great massive spaceship along with the angels and in many spaceships, operating many spaceships. You're going to have a fleet of angels covering the heavens, which is going to be a glorious sight to behold, a terrible sight as well. It says, and the earth was full of his praise. It says, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. Now, when you go into the word horns, is from the Hebrew word karen, which means a ray of light. Which is a horn is symbolic of power, but you'll find a definition, that says a ray of light. And basically, these chariots, these flying spaceships, are able to emit fire, laser beams, concentrated uh, energy to destroy. They're able to issue out a devastating power. It says, and there was the hiding of his power. Verse 5, before him went the pestilence, and burning coils went forth at his feet. Now, when you go into that word, burning coils, it's from the Hebrew word
Strong's H 7565. Reshef.
reshef, which means, you got a couple of different definitions, but I'm say the ones that I'm touching on. Burning heat, a spark, a hot thunderbolt, and that's basically what the chariots of the Most High are able to do. They're able to shoot forth a burning heat, a fire, a flame, a thunderbolt. Today we will call it a laser beam, you know, a firebolt. And this is beautiful, man, because it's showing you what Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming to do. Bring forth fire, unleash a devastating force upon the nations according to the will of Yahweh, the indignation of Yahweh. So this is the power, the technology that Yahweh Shai is coming with. This is the force that Yahweh Shai is coming with. The great number of angels along those spaceships and the capabilities that come with it. And in a way, I was trying to say this in the last lesson. In a way, this is but a small measure of what Yahweh Shai could do. If Yahweh Shai and the angels If Yahweh wanted Yahweh Shai and the angels to destroy the entire earth completely, they could do it. They could do it. But the Lord is going to unleash a spark, a flame that's going to do enough damage to the nations of the earth, to the militaries of the earth, which will ultimately, according to prophecy, try to fight against this invasion, against Yahweh shining angels. And that's prophesied in the book of Revelation. You know, verse 6 says, He stood and measured the earth. Now, when you go into that word measured, it basically goes into shake, to shake. And that's what Yahweh Shai is finna do. His sheer presence. But not only that, the flame that he's about to shoot upon the earth, upon the militaries, it's going to shake the earth. But not only that, you're also going to have the nuclear missiles, which is going to destroy and shake the earth as well. Which, in a way, the missiles of the nations, they are the missiles of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You think about the missiles, they are also included as uh, the armory, the weapons of Yahweh. They're called the weapons of His indignation. Though these nations have it, they created it. Ultimately, the Lord put the spirit on them to create these things, and to ultimately shoot these things in the future. But nevertheless, these things belong to the Lord and His purpose. So that's part of the shaking. So you're gonna have the nuclear destruction, Yahweh shining angels, pouring out that wrath, which this is gonna happen around the same season, ultimately, the same time. It says he stood and measured the earth, he beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered, the perpetual hills did bow, his ways are everlasting. And yeah, the mountains and the hills, which represents these nations, who came from Adam. Every nation you see on this earth came from Adam, you know. So the Lord Yahweh Shai is about to submit all these nations, these families of people on the earth, along with their power and their militaries, their kingdoms, their establishments, their systems, their power systems, shall I say. The Lord's about to overcome these things, conquer these things, you know. So Yahweh Shai is going to be traveling in the greatness of his strength. Let's go to the book of go back to Isaiah chapter 63. Isaiah chapter 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? And yeah, Edom is the chief adversary of Israel and of the Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the most dominant nation on this earth right now. So they're gonna have a very great fall. What they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's gonna be a terrible end for Edom. It says this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. Yeah, this is type of technology that is able to bend space. That's able to that's able to literally travel the floors of the ocean, of the seas, man. And that's something that man with advanced technology came and do. This is the type of technology that travel amongst stars, literally. You got Esau's television shows called Star Trek, which means to travel amongst stars, basically. Well, Yahweh Shai and the angels, they're the Star Trek, you know? They're the ones who travel amongst the stars, you know, which span the universe, you know, which make space travel and a large distance that involves space travel and make it look like a walk to the store, man. A drive to the store around the corner. So Yahweh Shai is coming with great, great power, man. And with this power that Yahweh have given Yahweh Shai in heaven and earth, he's going to save, he's going to deliver his elect. Continue reading, it says, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Yeah, he's very strong. He's mighty. This is God-like power, Godhood, Godhood power, man, that he have been bestowed with Yahweh. You know? So I'm gonna close off in that. Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Wadash, Shalom.